Down south in Louisiana is the Honey Island Swamp. In that swamp is a rich abundance of wildlife. From your alligators to your bears, to your boars and your cottonmouths, and maybe even a large bipedal, hairy humanoid creature known as the Honey Island Swamp Monster. What is this creature? What is it doing there? How did it come here? Is it really the hybrid of a chimpanzee and an alligator from a circus? Find out today as we discuss the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Welcome back to
Unknown,
Unsolved,
Unseen,
Triple U.
Woohoo!
That was a double triple. My bad.
So this is the episode 53. That means we are officially about to be at the 1 year mark. 52 weeks is a year technically, but we got to hit that 1 year mark. And also, real quick before I forget, I'm Frank.
I'm Sage.
We're your host. If you're listening on the day this comes out, we are 1 day away from our 1 year anniversary. I just want to thank everyone for all the listens, everybody who's dedicated, whether you've been following us on Instagram, listening on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, Castbox, whatever random thing you guys listen to, because there's some random ones lately coming up. Just thank you for all the support you guys have given us in the past year. So Sage, what do you think of us hitting 1 year?
It's crazy.
Atlas, I can hear your sniffing on the mic, and if that picks up, then we're keeping that. Buddy is both tired and wants treats right now. Like, he's sitting up and slouching, and then picks himself back up.
His front paws slide out from underneath him, and then he has to shuffle backwards to try to sit up again.
Atlas, just embrace the eepiness so we can record.
All right, lay down, baby. Good boy.
All right, so now back to the actual podcast. What do you think of the 1 year mark?
I think it's awesome. I'm honestly impressed that we've made it this far. I don't believe that we'll ever have topics to run out, to not be able to do it anymore, but it's definitely hard picking them every week.
So in this 1 year, what's your favorite episode we've done so far?
Oh, man. Thought you would ask me this, and I didn't even think about what episode I would choose.
You can't think of which episode's your favorite?
Probably the Yeti, if I had to choose one of mine. If I had to choose one of yours, I don't know.
If I had to choose one of mine, I'd choose the cryptid saber-toothed cats, and probably the Yeti also for yours, because I had a lot of fun in that one.
If I had to choose one of yours, I'd say it would probably be the moon landing episode.
The moon landing was a good one.
Yeah. Those
are some good episodes, though. Sorry, guys, if you hear Atlas bark in the background. I'll try my best to edit it out. He's being that. So, on from that, the only announcements I have is, check our Instagram for some posts about some events, and maybe check out in 2 weeks. Might have a special announcement coming up. When it comes to the events, you should definitely check out the Carbon Daily Festival, because I believe we're going to be there for B Square. We do have a quick message here from another podcast.
Ever hear a whisper in the dark and think, that's a tomorrow problem? Welcome to Not My Ghost, Not My Problem, where hosts Jen and Kelly share listener-submitted ghost stories, haunted places, and chilling mysteries, all with a wicked sense of humor. It's spooky, it's hilarious, and it might just make you second-guess that shadow in the corner. Believer or skeptic, there's always room around their campfire. Search for Not My Ghost, Not My Problem on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Hit play, and remember, it's only your problem if you acknowledge it.
So thank you to whatever podcast we inserted in here. I'm not sure which one it is. That's added in post. So check them out. All right. Today, we're going to be heading to Louisiana, which I did try and say earlier in a southern accent. I'm not good at accents. We're going to head to Louisiana. Is that good or no?
It's all right.
Oh, dear Lord, this flower is wilting.
That wasn't the worst.
That's from King of the Hill.
Everything you say is from King of the Hill.
It's a good quotable show. So specifically in Louisiana, we're going to be heading down to St. Tammany. Tammany?
How do you spell it?
Tammany.
Tammany?
Tammany.
Tammany? Yeah. Tammany? I don't know.
Tammany. I don't know. I don't have a reference at all anymore. Like, I did not use town name anymore. So as I was saying, I'm not sure if this is off by any chance. We just took a hour-long break for Atlas. So specifically, St. Tammany, and more specifically, the Honey Island Swamp to look for the Honey Island Swamp Monster. As per usual, Sage, do you know anything about this creature?
Nope. I did look in one of your encyclopedia things, and I read about one sentence, i.e. he was under, like, humanoid bipedals or something.
Nice. Ready to go searching down in the swamps of Louisiana? Alright, before we get into the monster, I want to get into Honey Island Swamp first. The Honey Island Swamp spans 70,000 acres or 280 square kilometers in southeastern Louisiana. 50% of the land is currently government wildlife protection areas, which is great stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. The swamp is located between Pearl River and West Pearl River.
Descriptive.
Yeah, I know. And north of Lake Pontchartrain. It is considered one of the most pristine wetlands in all of America. Now, that's a debatable claim, apparently, because I listened to another podcast on this. So, it used to be on Wikipedia with a citation that the swamp, this is one of the most pristine wetlands in all of America. It cited Cajun like river rides or something, and Cajun river rides, when they put that one of the most pristine swamps in all of America, they cited Wikipedia for it. And then when the guy who did the podcast looked into who edited it, because he sometimes corrects Wikipedia pages after he does research, it was somebody from that company that put it on Wikipedia, then cited their own company, and their own company cited Wikipedia, and it was a whole feedback loop.
Oh my god. Also, how can a wetland be pristine? Like, aren't they, like, naturally swampy?
Pristine means untouched by man. That much pollution and whatnot.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah. It's debatable if it's one of the most pristine, apparently. It's a feedback loop there. There's a lot of commercialization around the Honey Island Swamp Monster, actually.
And it sounds like it has been touched by man if there's the ability to spot this creature in it.
Yeah, but, like, maybe limited compared to other places.
That's fair.
I hope, though, that this stays, especially with how things are going currently with the current administration. I had to make some, jab there. It is, reading the wrong line. The area got its name from the abundance of honeybees in the area.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Which I learned from one of my sources is the state insect of Louisiana is the honeybee.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
I didn't know honeybees were big back down there, but hey, they have a whole island and swamp because of it.
Yeah, and it's a state insect. That's awesome. Save the bees, everybody.
Yeah. Besides the bees, this wetland has a rich diversity of wildlife. Amongst the cypress trees and waters, you can find animals such as alligators, alligator snapping turtle, alligator gar. I know a lot of things that have the word alligator in it, but that was all. I want to put them all in a row. Paddlefish, which, Sage, have you seen a paddlefish before?
No.
They got quite the snoot, I gotta say.
Ew.
That is the snoot of...
Why is that called a paddlefish? Is it because it looks like a paddle?
I guess.
It doesn't even look like a paddle.
We got garlic, licking gars. Wish you alligator gar because a gar licked that bread. Throwback to episode 3 of the podcast.
That is and will remain one of your best jokes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There's bobcats, raccoons, black bears, minks, bald eagles, barred owls, red-tailed hawk, great blue heron, brown pelicans, cottonmouths, king snakes, and maybe, even just maybe, a large humanoid. A large humanoid. You gotta keep that. Large humanoid creature known as the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Humanoid.
I don't know where that...
Honey Island Swamp humanoid.
I don't know where that came from. Humanoid.
Just We're delirious at this point. It's been a long day.
It is. So now let's get into the monster itself.
Alrighty.
The Honey Island swamp monster is a creature known by multiple names. It is sometimes called the Cajun Sasquatch, La Petite Noire. That's like Cajun French or Creole French.
Yeah, because like that's Louisiana has a lot of that.
Yeah. The Bayou Beast, Louisiana's Bigfoot, the Thing, and the Wookiee.
The Thing?
I thought you were going to say something about the Wookiee.
Well, I don't do Star Wars.
But yeah, the Thing.
Honestly, I like that. I like this great description. The Thing. Also, like, they call it the Wookiee because it looks like the Wookiee?
Yeah, I guess.
Stupid.
I know.
Come up with something better when y'all name shit. Okay?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's the Alabama white thing or something.
That's so non-descriptive. Like, what? A thing? That could be literally anything.
You know
so
what?
to call this the Thing? That is so outside of the realm of any kind of description that it could be a fucking rock.
Who knows? What if it is? Oh, sorry, no, it's not the Alabama white thing. It's the Alabama white thing.
Yeah, I gotta add that southern twang.
It's like, some people describe it as a white Bigfoot. Other people say it's not. I don't know.
Alrighty then.
That white thing.
Do you think that's how people refer to me? I'm that white thing?
No.
I'm the Alabaman white thing.
You're from Alabama.
That's true. That is literally true.
So, it is described as a humanoid ape-like creature, similar to Sasquatch, which at a year into this podcast, we have still not covered.
That one I just know that will take forever.
I know. We'll get there, friends. We've already done the Yeti. Now we're doing the Honey Island Swamp Monster. And technically we did the Escape or Lizard Man, which Bigfoot was a possibility there, but most likely not.
Do you think the Bigfoot is going to be able to be one episode, or do you think it's going to be multiple?
Oh, multiple. We also talked about Bigfoot in the Alaskan Triangle and the Bridgewater Triangle, too.
He's just everywhere.
He's just doing
them, all of them.
He's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, he is.
His own white thing.
He do be doing his own thing down south.
So the creature is described as having 3-toed foot or 4-toed. There's footprints of both.
Interesting.
Which is obviously very different than other things we see. With webbed feet.
Whoa. Is that because of the swamp?
I guess so.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah. Gray or brown hair, yellow, red, or orange, or amber eyes that may or may not glow in the dark. We've gone over this before, and I'll go over it again later. They have been described by some as more reptilian and a height of 7 feet tall, or about 2 meters tall, or a little over that. It is estimated to weigh between 400 to 600 pounds. It has an awful stench to it that is akin to death by some. Now,
Ooh.
Foul stenches have been associated with multiple different hominid cryptids throughout North America. Like a bunch of Sasquatch type things have been described with foul stenches.
Like sulfur is one, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's different. This is just like, it smells like shit. It smells like stinky, not like sulfur. Like,
I think it's just because it's like wet fur. I mean, we know
I don't
Atlas
know.
smells like shit when his fur's wet.
True, but we see it with some Sasquatch descriptions, especially with Florida's version, the skunk ape. Hence the name also on it, because the skunk ape smells awful.
Fair.
That dang skunk ape, stinking up the place. Sometimes it is described to potentially have swamp weed entangled in its hair, which is also the hair itself described as matted, which we are very familiar with. That would make sense based on it going through a human swamp and most likely swimming or wading through the water fairly regularly to get from one place to another. This would be a fairly large creature as well. Now, would you like to get to where this all began?
I would. Take us there.
The first sighting of the Honey Island Swamp Monster came in 1963. I've seen more than one telling of the first sighting, but I've seen at least a fairly generalized one through multiple people, so I'm going to go with that one. I believe is the right one. The first witness is Harlan Ford. Now, he's going to come up a lot in this. Basically, a lot of the story of the Honey Island Swamp Monster revolves around him, for better or for worse.
How many sightings would you say there have been of this?
Probably, I I didn't go through the book that I was told not to get because it's a waste of money. Or the documentary by the same author of the book that is also told is a waste of money.
Yikes.
Not many. There's not many sightings.
And is the majority of them from him?
A handful are from him, then a handful are from his granddaughter, who is the person who wrote the book and made the documentary.
Well, that doesn't sound biased at all.
Then there's his son-in-law.
Also doesn't sound biased at all.
Then there's somebody who coincidentally shares the same last name as him from a small town. I do bring that up here, and the podcast I listened to was like, a lot of them are all connected to the same guy and family. So
I was going to say, like, how
peculiar.
If there's no cooperation from others, like, and in this case, I would say it sounds like there's very little from outside the family.
There is some from outside the family that I'll go over, at least two notable ones.
Okay. All right. Anyway, sorry.
No, I do go over that specifically. The family has a lot of sightings of it. Because
that would be me and my family.
The son-in-law doesn't have the same name, and so it's like you don't realize at first, and it's like, oh, wait, it's his son-in-law. Oh, here's another notable sighting. It's his granddaughter.
That's hilarious. That would literally be my family. This is reminding me of George Foreman, and the only reason I say that is because
they're all
George Foreman.
George the second, Georgette, and stuff. I'm pretty sure even the women have George-esque names.
Oh, man. I don't know why that connected for me, but whatever.
The George Foreman lineage is one to be studied, I must say.
Indeed.
Dude's name, it's not just a Foreman grill, it's a George Foreman grill.
Oh, yeah. Gotta be specific.
Now there's a bunch of George Foremans out in the world. I wonder if they get discounts on George Foreman grills.
Probably it's their family line.
It's not the Foreman discount, it's the George discount because you're all Georges. Well, there's a Foreman discount for family members, and then there's the George discount for the Georges in the family.
Sounds about right.
And they probably,
George Foreman, if you're listening, let us know.
Do you think all the Georges and Georgettes and George, type of names all fight each other to see who the top George is and the family, the top dog, the top George?
No, but do you know how confusing it would have to be to get mail?
Probably pretty confusing. Because
you share, like, a name with your dad's nickname, and we get his mail all the time.
Now, if it weren't for the fact that I just want to get this episode through, I would look into this and see which George is which.
We'll find out at some point, or someone can let us know.
Yeah.
George Foreman, whichever one you are, let us know.
If you're listening, one of you, you know what?
The likelihood of one of them is pretty high.
If you're talking about like a group of people, you know what? There's multiple of them. One of them could be listening.
Yeah. I'm going to take that as a win. Sorry.
Despite the fact we do not have one listening right now, we'll just take the preemptive win.
Yeah. It's been a long day. It's a little late. We're recording a little later than we would like to.
Yeah.
So,
we tried recording 2.5 hours, no, almost 3 hours ago. We tried recording.
Yeah, we're a little slap happy, but it's all right.
So let's get back to what's his face, Harlan Ford.
What's his face?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. The Harlan Ford lineage. Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller who had taken up wildlife photography, was the first witness. He was flying a 2-engine plane to look for a hunting camp location and had found a clearing in the swamp that looked like a great place to set up camp. Ford went out there with his friend Billy Mills. I, for some reason, keep saying Billy Mays in my head. Don't know why. But Billy Mills, who is also a retired air traffic controller as well, they both headed out to the spot to bring some supplies and went the first half on a boat and then on foot for the rest of the way. On the way there, I couldn't tell if it was the way there or actually at the camp, they came across a large creature on all fours feasting on another creature. Not knowing if this animal would attack them, when it saw them, they got their guns ready. The creature then did something bizarre. It stood up and looked at them with its like yellow, red, or amber piercing eyes. I've seen multiple descriptions. And then ran away from them.
Is it normal for Bigfoots to eat meat?
They're assumed to be omnivorous, similar to us.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I usually only hear about them eating like fruits and stuff, so like berries. Which is like...
We eat berries!
It makes sense that but it would make sense that they would eat meat or something, because I don't think berries would sustain a Bigfoot. But
I mean, according to Red Dead Redemption, we eat berries! because there's a DLC, a zombie DLC, and in it, there's a guy who's like, they're eating the babies. I forget if he calls them Bigfoot or not, but there's a bunch of Bigfoot in the woods, and this guy tells you they're eating the babies, so you have to kill all the Bigfoot out there. And you come across the last one, and he can speak, and your guy goes like, you eat babies. You gotta be killed. He's like, we eat berries. We don't eat babies.
Oh.
And then he's sitting there crying, and you can put him out of his misery as he's the last of his kind.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't like that story.
Oh, it's just when you said that, I just thought of the we eat berries.
Okay.
And then they brought that back in like GTA 5 with like there's an Easter egg in the main story where there's a guy who dressed up as Bigfoot, and if you shoot him, he goes, I am the last of my kind. He's like saying the same lines. It's a guy in a suit instead.
Okay. Continue with that Honey Island swamp monster,
sorry,
please.
I got distracted. So the creature ran off, as I said. They tried to see if it left tracks, but they got washed out in the rain that followed. Ford had described it as over 7 feet tall, grayish, dingy hair, yellow eyes, and a foul stench. He said it was like a monster out of a horror movie.
And it couldn't be like a bear with mange.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll get into whether or not I believe he's telling the truth or not later.
Okay.
So, you'd think this sighting would set off a storm of other sightings or others trying to find the creature, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, that didn't happen for a while. Harlan Ford only came forward with this story over 10 years later in 1975. Sorry, no, 1974. Because
What
the
the
initial
heck?
1963. He held this. Him and Billy Mays told nobody.
Billy
until-
Mays?
Billy Mills. God, I knew I was going to mess it up.
That was great. Because that was like you just literally didn't notice.
I know. Well, I teed myself up to make that mistake earlier.
That's really funny. But wow, that's a long time to wait.
Yeah. And in that time, he kept on looking for it. Actually, up until he died in 1980, Harlan Ford spent much of his time dedicated to looking for this creature.
So he came out about it in 1974 and died 6 years later?
Yep.
How old was he when he first saw it?
No idea. He was retired.
Okay, so probably like at that point, later 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that time, Ford dedicated much of his time trying to prove the creature's existence. He came forward with this tale because he believed he finally had proof. He had plaster casts of footprints purported to be from the creature. In 1974, Ford and Mills, not Mays, Mills, they returned to the original spot where they first encountered the creature. They were there for duck hunting, but instead found several dead boar. These dead boar all had their throats torn out. They were away from the water, so it was almost definitely not alligators. And there's also odd tracks in the area, so it must be the monster. Or, hear me out, could be a person, because people do shit like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise
Because, like,
me.
a lot of animals don't just rip out the throat and leave several dead boars there. That's like, as they think of it, is the creature got territorial over the wild boar.
The Bigfoot, 7-foot Bigfoot-like creature got territorial over boars?
Yeah, animals get territorial.
I know, I just don't perceive boars as being as big of a threat as other things
Wild
could be.
boars are definitely a threat.
No, I know what wild boars are. I'm just saying I don't know if I recognize them as being that big of a threat. That the Bigfoot would just slice their throats and not eat them.
I don't know.
Yeah, like also why did nothing eat them?
Because territorial things, they don't always eat it. I mean, look at...
Is it like if I leave this body here, you'll see it and you and your
maybe,
people
or
won't
just
come?
kill it, or times they're just trying to kill it to get it done with.
I guess that's
And,
understandable.
a territorial animal doesn't necessarily kill because it's a threat. You know what's another territorial animal? Hippos. Does a gazelle present a threat to a hippo?
No.
No. But does it still kill said gazelle? Yes.
Oh.
Hippos are very dangerous. They are very aggressive, territorial. They'll attack humans.
Well, yeah, hippos scare the shit out of me.
So, like, if an animal is aggressive and territorial, it is aggressive and territorial.
Okay.
That's fact. That's how they work. But back to this. They would retreat and come back later that night to make casts of the tracks. What they came out with were 3-toed tracks with webbed feet. Unlike anything ever seen before, casts were sent out for analysis, but no match has ever been made. They sent it to like LSU's agricultural like department to analyze and see if there's anything like it they could identify it to. They almost look like alligator tracks to an extent, but like enlarged and on something else.
Is it possible that it's kind of like the Yeti print, where like if an alligator put its foot down and kind of drug it a little bit, it would look bigger?
Honestly, that is what I did think of that for a little bit. Here's a picture of one of the tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it like stuck its claws in and kind of pulled back as it walked or something?
You see how there's the fourth toe there on the top?
Yeah, it's really small.
But yet there are others like this where there is no fourth toe.
No, it kind of looks like there's one on the left.
Kind of. This one not as much.
I see it right there on the left.
Yeah. But yet they call it a three-toe one. But like there are plenty that are 4 and some that are very ambiguous if it's 3 or 4. I would say they're mostly 3. Mostly 4.
Okay. Yeah, see that like looks like an alligator.
Yeah. There's some belief on that. So Ford would present this cast and tracks to the public with the recent happenings with the Falk Lake monster and being post-Patterson-Gimlin film. Mysterious creatures like the Honey Island Swamp Monster were getting attention. Because you know the Patterson-Gimlin film is, right?
That's the
Bigfoot walking in the opening.
Yeah.
Yep. And Falk Lake was a bit hot at the time because we only recently had The Beast of Boggy Creek, which was a Bigfoot movie, came out, and that was a huge success. Like Patterson-Gimlin had come out, Beast of Boggy Creek had come out for the Falk Lake Monster, which I often actually I used to confuse the Falk Lake and Honey Island Swamp Monster with each other. I thought I was actually doing the Falk Lake when I chose Honey Island. I'm like, oh shit, they're different.
I didn't know in my childhood that there was more than one Bigfoot, so I didn't confuse anything.
There's a lot of big feet out there.
Yeah.
So back to where I was at. Ford would present, as I said, he'd present these and they'd get attention. This would lead to In Search Of, which is it's a show similar to like Unsolved Mysteries. You know about that show, right?
Yeah.
In Search Of is similar, so they made an episode, a special on In Search Of on the swamp creature. So it was the episode In Search Of the Swamp Creature, which I watched that before this. That's why I was watching and replaying multiple times to try and understand what Harlan Ford was saying.
Oh, okay.
But the episode of In Search Of, featuring the Honey Island Swamp Monster, was in 1978. The episode, we get more sightings and more details from Ford. First off, Ford describes his encounter, followed by him showing off many casts he has of various sizes, and a recreation of him making one. And there are 2 other notable encounters mentioned on there. So the first, it was at the end of the episode, but the first one I want to go over is a couple who heard loud grunts and roars from something unseen in the bush as they made a fire one night in the swamp and kept on making the fire bigger and bigger to try and scare off the creature. And they didn't want it confronting them. This is the one where one of the people is last name Ford. Possible connection.
Oh.
Then the other person is Ted Williams, whose encounter I will go over after I mention more of the aspects of In Search Of.
Okay.
Because he has some other stuff outside the In Search Of episode. The episode also talked about ape-like creatures like the Yeti and Sasquatch. But for Sasquatch, they specifically talked about the Battle of Ape Canyon, which, do you know about that?
I feel like I've heard it before, but I'm not sure that I know a lot.
So we need to cover that eventually. That's a very interesting one.
Put it on the list.
But when I was listening to watching this episode, I was like getting through the first 5 minutes. And I'm like, is this the swamp creature episode? Because they're talking about the Yeti for 2 minutes and now the Battle of Ape Canyon for another 2. And I'm like, when's it coming? You know who hosted the In Search Of?
I'm going to guess Josh Gates.
No, this is 70s.
He would not be alive.
He may be alive.
Wow, I just totally forgot that it was in the 70s.
Who was a big name in science fiction then? On TV.
On TV?
Yeah. A big science fiction guy on TV. Science fiction actor.
The only science fiction actor that I can recall is David Attenborough.
That's a naturalist. Think of what science fiction shows were popular then.
I was not alive. Neither were my parents. Okay, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay. Spock.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Spock.
Leonard Nimoy.
I didn't know that was his name.
Oh yeah.
I would have never gotten that.
He's the one who hosted this.
Did he do his hand symbol
I don't
in the
think
middle
so.
of it?
But actually, fun fact, I guess they rebooted In Search of, like, in the 2000s or something. And the person they had to replace him was the guy who played Spock in the new Star Trek movies. Apparently, I guess if you play Spock in the new Star Trek movies, you get access to everything Leonard Nimoy did before he passed away. I think he passed away, right? I hope I'm not saying that and he's still alive.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great. Also, there was no way I was going to get that.
What?
There was no way that I was going to get that.
He did die in 2015.
Well, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. So they created a mask to resemble the description of the creature on the episode, and even had a guy survive in the swamp and describes what is needed for an animal fitting the Honey Island swamp monster to survive. The big thing is it would need to keep moving and keep eating in an environment like that.
Why would it need to keep moving?
Just to keep getting food and whatnot. For an animal that large, it can't keep on staying in one area, especially with like the wildlife you have there. You typically want to, like, animals are not stationary.
What do they believe that it ate?
Well, I think they said on a more like omnivorous diet. It had to be herbivorous or omnivorous to sustain itself with all the food there. There isn't too much large game for it that would be prevalent everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond the episode of In Search of, there are some more interesting encounters. So...
Did they ever find, like, carcasses or anything?
No.
So, do they just suspect that if it was eating meat, it would eat the bones and all, or it would be at the bottom of the swamp?
No idea.
A hole in the theory.
But before we get back to Ted Williams, who I skipped over, I do want to mention there's a man who claimed to have hit the creature with his fan boat, actually, at one point. And when he looked back, he saw a large bipedal creature climb out of the water and walk away. It is to be noted that the man who claimed this was Ford's son-in-law.
First of all, fucking rude to hit something. You couldn't get out of the way if the shit's large.
Yeah.
If it's a big bipedal creature, you couldn't stop your boat and move or something. Mm-hmm. I know that swamps and stuff aren't very, like, wide. Come on, man. Also, if you hit it, would it have gotten up and walked out?
I guess if it's big and strong enough, he's just built different.
He do be just built different, I guess.
Yeah, he do. But yeah, Ford's son-in-law.
Not suspicious at all.
Exactly. Now let's head back to Ted Williams. He was a trapper in the swamp. He claimed to have seen the creatures multiple times. Yes, plural.
Okay, so multiple creatures together or multiple creatures separate?
I think he did see multiple together at times, like a small and big ones. Okay. I couldn't find the details on that. I heard that on some podcast, but I couldn't find the details. I think those are in that $2 book I didn't want to buy.
So, like, maybe a parent and a...
Yeah, literally the one podcast and their sources, it was in all caps. They used it as a source and then put next to it, do not buy.
I love people that don't gatekeep.
It's, oh my god, apparently, like, the book keeps on being republished as a quote-unquote new book with, like, nothing really changed. Apparently, the 2019 version, oh man, if the author sees this, I'm sorry I'm making fun of you, but she has 5-star reviews in the front page of it, okay?
Okay.
On the first page. But they are pictures of the Amazon reviews, okay?
Okay.
A phone taking a picture of a screen.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Listen, at this point, if this author is listening, please understand that you've put yourself out there for us to make fun of you, because that's insane. That's insane behavior. That's criminal.
To write it like that?
Like, literally take a picture of your fucking iPad or computer with your cell phone and then put it into your book.
Rather than take a screenshot?
Yeah. Like, what the hell?
I know, it's just, that's apparently the second page.
That's terrible.
And then I guess there's a lot of pictures in the book that don't even have any, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the word on it. Hopefully the fountain is not showing up in this, guys. Once again, I'm sorry if it is in the background. That's our bad.
We will remember to turn it off next time. But
oh man, the latest version must not have it because I went to the sample and apparently the sample used to have that.
I wonder if you could look it up. Like, just look up on it. Like,
on the Kindle sample used to have it on page 2, but it does not appear to have it anymore.
Is it by Dana Hollyfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my. Do you want to know her books real quick? What?
I'm looking at the reviews. A couple of them are like 5 stars. This is amazing. One says, I have since learned to see how many pages the books are now. Outrageous price for this little tiny pamphlet. Wasted my hard-earned money for a book my husband read in 23 minutes. There's another one called The Very Hairy Scary Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Yeah, but did you see her?
That's on Kindle Unlimited.
I have to check that out. She has Swamp Cooking, which also references a swamp monster in it. Apparently, a lot of her other books reference the swamp monster in it.
Yeah, there's also David Stone as Honey Island Terror, tracking Louisiana's Bigfoot mystery in the Pearl River swamps.
Yeah, we only care about the Dana Hollyfield one. That's the granddaughter.
Bigfoot Beast, Honey Island Swamp Monster. Yeah, but I feel like you probably could have gotten information from some of these.
Yeah, are they on Kindle Unlimited?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
There's Cryptids of the Deep South, Sasquatch Sightings, Honey Island Swamp Monster, Lizard Man versus the Swamp Monster, Clash of the Cryptids.
Man, that's my last cryptid episode. Maybe I gotta read that.
That one is unfortunately not on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, man.
But I would be happy to buy that for you if that was the case. Like, if you wanted it.
I have to. Yeah, apparently, like most of her books do. She has Cajun
It's
Sexy.
terrible.
She also wrote Cajun Sexy Cooking, Bachelors with Recipes for Dinner and Romance. Yeah. I hate to trash on like people, but like you know what? I'm not always above that. Back to Ted Williams, because we got way off track. I don't even know how we got on that one. I meant to get on that later in this.
Listen.
Oh yeah, about his encounter with potentially small ones, but that's probably in the book that I was told not to buy.
Yeah.
So in 1975, Williams witnessed as one swam through the water. Its arms were long, and it swam like a person with like the long overhead like strokes. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In case you guys are wondering, I'm like doing a demonstration for Sage. I look so stupid.
He looks like he's like both like swimming and also like crawling up the side of a mountain asking for help.
What a scenario. And he mentioned it was a hairy creature as well. It went past his boat. He claimed that he had an opportunity to have shot one, but because they didn't seem to want to harm him and seemed too human in the face, he never did. On one occasion, one even walked right past him.
You know damn well if this man showed up somewhere and there was a human and he felt the need to kill him, he would kill the human. So pointing out that the Bigfoots looked too much human, I call bullshit.
All right. Well, you're making assumptions on this guy, but so on Williams as well, his stories ended. He went out one day to check his trout lines on his boat and never returned. He was never seen again, and no body has been found. Some claim, with absolutely no evidence, that the Honey Island Swamp Monster got him. But there's so many things that could have happened. We'll most likely never know. The monster is on that possibility.
Okay, I take back what I said.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for his family's loss.
A lot of people bring up that he went missing and try and like blame the Honey Island Swamp Monster on it. The next sighting is from 1981 as well. Jerry Bro, a local, had interviewed his friend Hubert, no last name given. Hubert was in a stand hunting deer when he heard heavy footsteps behind him. When he looked down, he saw something terrifying. A large hairy creature walked right underneath him and did not notice him, and he froze and did not move until he was sure that the creature was gone. Then he got the hell out of there.
Fair. Honestly, I would also probably get the hell out of there.
And the last one, we're still in 1981, is Mike Woolley, who was hunting for squirrels. I don't know. I did not know that people actively hunted for squirrels. I assumed that they just trapped them. But apparently we actively hunt for them too.
That is news to me too.
Wooly heard a loud roar behind him and looked behind himself, and he saw two large bipedal creatures. It was not mentioned if they were hairy or not. Most likely they were. He shot at them and missed. He then ran for his life as they chased him, and he got away.
Okay, so two things. One, can you imagine how scary it would be if you're out hunting squirrels and two massive fucking Bigfoot-like creatures show up behind you?
And roar.
Like you're looking for like tiny little animals and then these things show up?
Yeah.
However, he must have either been so scared or like something that he missed them. If they're huge, like, and there's two of them.
50 yards.
Yeah, but that's not like, that's realistically not that far. That's 150 feet to shoot a gun that far. Like, you're going to be shooting squirrels at a...
But, yeah, as you said, he's probably terrified, so he's shaking, you know.
Yeah.
And as soon as he shoots and misses, he runs for it, and they chase him.
It's just a big target. And they chase him?
Yeah.
Oh,
but he gets away.
I understand, man. I would probably freeze in my tracks, if we're being honest. So
this actually inspired him to make his own movie in 2013. He made Skookum, The Hunt for Bigfoot. I have not watched this myself, I'm pretty sure.
Has there ever been any documentation of human beings being attacked by any kind of bipedal creature like this?
I don't necessarily know attacked, but there's kidnappings.
Okay.
Which is a whole thing. I forget.
Because I'm curious if they started chasing after him, like, for what reason? He saw them, they don't want to be known? Like, that's pretty, like, conscious.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Skookum, The Hunt for Bigfoot is on... it's $1.99 on Amazon Prime. It might be free on YouTube. Who knows with shit that old.
Fair.
It's like how the McPherson tapes that we mentioned the other week... I watched those, and like, it's not as scary when you're older now, but fuck, I remember when that was so scary when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Freaked the shit out of me. Now on to Harlan Ford again. He passed away in 1980, looking for the Honey Island swamp monster till he passed. He even brought a goat out once to try and use it as bait. He brought it out with him and his gun and his camera and waited for the monster to go for the goat.
That's very, like...
Jurassic Park?
Chupacabra-esque. Of, like... I'm pretty sure that's the creature that you can put a goat as a sacrifice for.
The goat sucker is what it means.
Yeah.
A.k.a. dog with mange.
Uh-huh. You believe that.
I'm a Chupacabra denier. I'll die on that hill.
I'm honestly going to agree with you on this one. One, because I don't know enough about the Chupacabra, but two, I trust you because you're very smart, so...
Chupacabra denier in the house. Fight me on it, people.
For a long time, I thought the Chupacabra and the capybara were the same thing. And I was like, why am I seeing capybaras everywhere? And
what the fuck?
And I thought these weren't real.
Oh my god.
Capybara.
Chupacabra.
Say that 10 times fast.
So where was I on that again?
Sorry.
So he never got anything with the goat. After his passing, Ford's granddaughter, Dana Hollyfield, who we've mentioned before, kind of trashing her a little bit, took the reins. Since then, she has released a book and a documentary on the Honey Island Swamp Monster. She has also re-released both of them multiple times.
I mean, girl, get your money.
A gift that keeps on giving, I guess. The Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Get your bank. I don't know.
Upon her grandfather's passing, she was given a roll of 8mm film. This film, at the time, had only ever been viewed by Harlan himself. What Hollyfield found shocked her. Are you ready to see this? This is the only known potential video of the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
I thought it was going to be pictures of him in compromising positions.
What?
I'm just kidding.
You know what? Whatever. You do you. Okay. Here is the video for you to watch. So what'd you think of that video?
I definitely think that it's a little clearer than the video of the Bigfoot that you were like that we talked about.
Patterson Gimlin's a better video than that.
Oh.
But actually, before getting details of it,
could just be a man.
You ready to get into some theories on what the Honey Island Swamp Monster may or may not be?
I sure am.
So first off, we're all mention is it's some unknown animal.
No shit. Thanks,
Sherlock, for answering
Thanks, Sherlock. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
There are a few possible ones that people mention. It can be an unknown hominid, like a type of Sasquatch, a large unknown primate still undiscovered in North America. What this hominid could be ranges for what people think. Could it be an offshoot of humanity, Neanderthals, regular great apes that we have today, or Gigantopithecus, which we've gone over before, was the largest ape to ever live, that lived in China like 1 million years ago and is now extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Next theory is it could be a type of wild man, or like, just people who like feral people.
Yeah.
Which is, kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, don't they believe that there's a lot of that in Appalachia?
Some people do.
Yeah.
Now we go on to some, one that I see a bit. There's a theory that sometime in the early 1900s, circus train crashed. Chimpanzees got loose. You know what those dang old chimpanzees did? They had intercourse with the alligators, making this hybrid.
I did not have sexual relations with an alligator.
That is actually mentioned on multiple places that people spread that story in the folklore, that is a crossbreed between
that a chimpanzee had sex with an alligator.
Yes.
One, how is that even logistically possible?
I don't know.
Two, was the chimpanzee the female and the alligator was the male, or was the alligator the female and the chimpanzee
I'm
was the
going to guess the chimpanzee with the male, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
I do not want to be thinking about chimpanzee and alligator having sex.
Yeah, I don't.
Can we move on from this one?
I think we can, but that is one that is mentioned in multiple places.
I'm good with going to the next theory.
All right. Supernatural paranormal creature.
Doesn't surprise me that that's a theory.
Which, I mean, that's always a theory for every single one of these. It's never not a theory.
Yeah.
Because it's just, what people talk about.
When we can't explain something, so we just say it's not from this world.
So some think it might be included in the local folklore from the Choctaw and Homa native or indigenous tribes of the Letishi, which is, I guess, a bastard that's abandoned and grows up and becomes a reptilian.
A bastard?
Yeah.
Okay.
That becomes a reptile thing. I didn't look too much into it. I think there's this interesting thing where people talk about how Sasquatch is all throughout native folklore, but it really isn't as much as people claim it to be, because a lot of people trying to whitewash indigenous folklore into fitting their monsters.
Does not surprise me that the white man would like to whitewash.
There's a really good YouTube video by Trey the Explainer on this, on about how many of these so-called Bigfoot and Sasquatches that people say are said in Native American folklore is actually not really that.
Yeah, go check that out. That sounds like a really interesting topic.
Yeah. But besides it, that's one of the ideas, a paranormal creature like that. Or it could be something hopping dimensions, which people think Bigfoot is a dimension hopping or sometimes alien. That be the Honey Island Swamp Monster?
I love that, when we can't explain something, we just go, you know what, I'm gonna just fuck it. I'm just gonna say it's this, or this kind of thing. I don't know. This is, how I feel about, mythology and things similar along those lines. That, something's unexplainable, so they just come up with an explanation, because as human beings, it's scarier to not know and understand something than it is to have something that could be wrong, but an explanation for something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then there is misidentified animal, like a bear, which do exist there, which could be a possibility, or an alligator somehow. Don't know how, but who knows? Now,
when they found the tracks earlier, the guy who found the tracks and they did the casting, did they say anything about a line down the middle?
No.
Okay.
But no one's ever seen him make the cast.
Yeah, because an alligator would have the tail line.
Yeah. Now, the last thing that we can say is a hoax.
Yeah.
Did he hoax this? Because if you look about it, a lot of the sightings were from him.
If you look about it?
You look at it.
Okay.
A lot of the sightings were from Harlan Ford or family members. And since then, his family has kind of cashed in on it, with his granddaughter making a documentary and then re-releasing it. And then also, she sells casts of it. She sells books of it. She has a whole website dedicated to creature where they sell merch for it. That website is so poorly designed. I showed that to Sage yesterday.
Terrible.
Yeah. but they like sell a bunch of stuff. A lot of tourists try and sell you on the Honey Island swamp monster in the area. It is commercialized.
I mean, get your bag, girl. But also, like, if you're people who are, like, actively giving into this for, like, funsies and not for, like, research purposes because you're doing something like this, that I don't think I understand.
I think so. And then there is something that also helps this hoax theory.
Okay.
So, Lauren Coleman, you remember him?
I sure do.
He's one of the most prominent cryptozoologists out there that's alive right now. If not, like, the top dog.
We've used his research quite a lot for our cryptids.
What do you think his thoughts of this are?
Is a hoax.
He believes firmly that this is a hoax.
Well, if Lauren Coleman believes it, then so should we. Why would we take anyone else's word for it?
He thinks there might have been some sightings of some creature, but he thinks primarily this is a hoax. You know why?
Why?
In 2004, a shoe with, if I'm reading this right, there's footage of a shoe with a 3-toed claw attached to the bottom, which is presumably used to fake the tracks from Honey Island Swamp.
A shoe, you mean?
A shoe. Yeah, a single shoe. The other one's unaccounted for. But a shoe that would make these tracks has been found.
Is that why it's only one?
No, there's definitely a different one. There's more than one.
Well, I was just going to say, like, the way that it looks like in all the pictures of the cast is it looks like the foot's in the same direction every time.
I think it's fairly similar.
But, like, with the little nubby.
Yeah.
Like, all the pictures you showed me, the nubby's on the left.
Yep. I think there are also multiple of these made because there's various sizes of these.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be mirrored if there was a left and right foot?
I think they do look mirrored from what I'm looking at here because I only showed you the one.
Okay.
But there's been one shoe found.
Is it an alligator foot on the shoe?
I did not go into enough detail on that, but I think they use alligator as at least the basis for it.
That would not surprise me at all with the way that the back of that print looks like. It totally looks like the back of a shoe.
Yeah. So,
like a sneaker or something, and they just smoothed it out so that the design wasn't on the bottom.
But a shoe has been found. And also, as you've seen how commercialized this is, I err on that side myself.
I am firmly on the this is the hoax train.
Yeah. But, those are the theories.
That was something else.
The other thing I want to mention on too is the show Paranormal Factor Fake. When I was going to say pop culture, but I won't say now. Actually studied studied the film, and other people have looked at it too. They determined you could put somebody in a ghillie suit and have them walk through there and recreate that.
Did ghillie suits exist at the time?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've existed for a long time.
Okay.
And if you also think about what I'm thinking too is, and it could just be somebody in a suit too, like that, or just a bunch of like stuff on them. Harlan Ford never showed the film to anyone until after he died. Maybe he knew it was a fake, didn't think it would pass off as real. Or he filmed something and it was actually just a person the whole time, so he just kept it to himself and didn't share it.
Yeah. Maybe he thought also, after I die and people find this, they're going to like finally believe me.
Yeah, who knows?
Because you know how like when an artist dies, their works become like extra worth money? Mm-hmm. Like Vincent Van Gogh and stuff, I'm pretty sure. Like his works, he didn't get money for his works until after he was dead.
Yeah.
And
Have you heard the 27 Club?
No.
A lot of artists, I believe, die at 27. And their value skyrockets.
That's an interesting number.
There's some very interesting cases in it that we can talk about at some other time.
27 is divided by 9, and 2 plus 7 is 9.
Nobody cares about that.
I don't know how. 9's my favorite number.
Let's not do numerology here, okay? The last guy who I've seen did that said he's also like JFK's coming alive back one of these days, and then he actually ended up dying in a motorcycle accident because of how crazy his numerology conspiracy theories were. He still has dedicated followers that believe he's alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So back on this. So yeah, there was an analysis of that done. But let's just get into our 1 out of 10 before I get into the pop culture of this. What should my 1 out of 10? How many humanoids? Is that how he said it earlier?
Something like that. I don't remember.
How many 1 out of 10 humanoids do you rank the Honey Island Swamp Monster?
A 2.
2 what?
Humanoids.
I'm going to rate it also 2 humanoids.
I feel
out of
like there's
10.
always a possibility that something like this could potentially exist.
Yeah, like the people who weren't part of the Ford family, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, but also like
I think they were kind of hoaxing it, especially with how much she tries to like keep selling the stuff
and
on it.
Also
and like,
a shoe with the footprint. Come on.
Her swamp cookbooks all like have the Honey Island Swamp Monster in it. Like a bunch of her books that aren't about the Honey Island Swamp Monster apparently have it in it.
I love that there's like a swamp cookbook in the first place.
That's something. But a lot of this I heard from some other podcasts too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it for that. Time to get into some pop culture of this. So the Honey Island Swamp Monster has actually been featured a decent bit in pop culture.
Really?
Yeah. So the Honey Island Swamp Monster was was the subject of one of the episodes of The Secret Saturdays, which was a cartoon on Cartoon Network that revolved around cryptids.
Never seen it.
But it was a monster that was like Bigfoot-like, but had crab-like claws. I remember watching this as a kid.
What?
It had crab-like claws and said, you know what they say, right? Carcinization. Everything will become crab eventually. They seriously have a term for becoming crab-like.
In case anyone was wondering what that was. Yeah.
She did like crab claws. But also there needs to be a term for anteater-like, because mammals keep evolving into anteater body structures. Well, non-crabs keep evolving into crabs.
What's it called when they evolve into crabs?
Carcinization, which I can't believe is
Antidization.
Maybe. I have to do that. So,
Anteaterization.
back on the pop culture, it was featured on the episode of Lost Tapes, Swamp Creature, which I also watched last night for research. In that case, they were these, like, I think it's like this brother and sister, like cousins or something. Like they're there. Yeah, I see your smirk. I know we're talking south. But they're there after Hurricane Katrina to like monitor alligator numbers and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And eventually they're out in the swamp too late, and this guy tells them that they can't go out there late at night, so they stay at base camp with him. Before they get there, one of them accidentally steps on some eggs in the nest that isn't alligator eggs. They're different eggs. They're Honey Island Swamp Monster eggs. So it lays eggs, I guess, in this.
There ain't no fucking way that a bipedal creature that is human would lay eggs.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, it's a cross between a chimpanzee and an alligator.
I feel like the chimpanzee genes would win.
I don't know.
Like they would win.
But they're there and they...
where would they...
I don't know. But they're there in a tent in the night when they hear a creature out there, and the guy who like told them to stay there went out with his shotgun to deal with it, and he gave him a pistol, like, if anything comes, shoot it. And he goes out there, and next thing you hear, ah, and a roar, and then they open up tent, and he's on the ground with like a slash in his back. And it's so cheesy too.
Dude, I would have shut the tent.
Well, they go back in the tent and shut it, and then a creature attacks, and it's like big hairy arms, like ripped open the side of the tent, and they shoot out at it. And then the guy out there gets back up and he shoots at it, and the creature retreats. They never find what it is, but they all get out of there.
Was there any blood from the creature?
No.
So they couldn't. Okay.
I used to believe Lost Tapes was real also when I was a kid, so I believe this really happened at first, in the first season at least, because this is the first season episode. After that one, yeah. So back on pop culture, as I said, it was also in part of feature for the show In Search of and Fact or Fake Paranormal Files. See, an episode of Swamp People includes a segment where people talk about searching for the monster. It was featured in Monsters and Mysteries in America, which we've watched that episode actually like 3 years ago. I remember watching that. It was featured in a segment of the 2012 episode of Mysteries at the Museum, also on the Travel Channel. Travel Channel loves this. Let's see, what else was there on this? I think that was about it for really notable stuff on Honey Island Swamp Monster and pop culture.
Alrighty.
So
I'm surprised with how many things there are, and I've yet to hear of it.
For the Honey Island Swamp Monster, it's a decent bit, actually.
We did live very different childhoods.
Yes,
I didn't watch shows like that. I was watching Degrassi.
I watched shows like this. But, yeah, I think that's about it that I have today on the Honey Island Swamp Monster. The human.
That's going to be our new inside joke.
Yeah. Whenever we go to Bigfoot, we'll be like, it is a humanoid.
Human.
All right. Well, I think that is it then for today, everybody. Unless you have any final thoughts on the Honey Island Swamp Monster besides you believe it's a hoax.
I believe it's a hoax, and I believe that it's an alligator.
Yeah. Also, let me give my conclusion, actually, because some people have told me I should put a conclusion every time.
Yeah.
In conclusion, down south in Louisiana, in the southeastern part of the state, lies Honey Island Swamp, home to the Honey Island Swamp Monster, a creature that is said to attack livestock, I didn't even mention attacks livestock, as some people claim, but whoops. Attack livestock, boars, and potentially people. It is said to lurk the swamps and terrify the local residents. Is it real? Is it a hoax? Is it a cross between a chimpanzee and an alligator? That's for you to decide. Yeah, that's it for that creature.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to sign us off here. Thank you guys for listening today. We really appreciate you guys joining us again. If you are liking what you're listening, rate, comment, review, subscribe, follow on whatever you're listening on. If you guys start leaving us 5-star reviews, we will definitely start reading them off. We got to get some of them, so you better put one in and I'll read it off. If you want to follow us on social, we have a TikTok, Blue Sky, and Instagram. Instagram's the active one. I need to figure out TikTok. And yeah, that's it that I have for there. So I'm going to hit us with a sign off. So remember
to look for
the unknown,
the unsolved,
and the unseen.
Thanks for
Bye,
listening.
guys. Look out for humanoids.